Boss Talk. I am your host, Shantae R. Roddy. I'm so glad that you're here and you're visiting my channel. We are here to talk about the EIDL grant and loan application, taking you step by step through the process so what? You can get your money. So I do ask that you do hit the love button, that you do share out this video. Do subscribe for future updates. That is going to be important. We want as many entrepreneurs and small business owners to know about this program so that they can apply and get access to the money that they need to be able to sustain their business through this time. Okay, so I first want to start out before I go into the application, just by talking about this program so you know what this is, and if you qualify, does it make sense for you to go through this application? The EIDL program is part of the CARES Act that was enacted due to COVID-19 pandemic. This is one of the relief programs that is designated for entrepreneurs and small business owners. The disaster loan assistance has been around for a long time. It has been expanded for the pandemic. It was funded once, it ran out of money, and in April, the Congress passed another bill to refund the program. So they have put this program on pause. They refunded the program. Then they opened it up to only agricultural businesses only. But a few days ago, there was a Senate hearing with the SBA, and then the SBA announced that they were going to open up this application portal to all qualifying small businesses, including agricultural. Okay, so I know a lot of you all have been waiting for this portal to open so that you can get your applications in. So this is the time to do it. We don't know how long this portal is going to be open. It's first come, first serve. So you definitely don't want to wait. So once we go through this video, you know how to fill out the application. I just say mark off some time on your calendar today, between today or tomorrow, and get your application in. Okay. So this application, you qualify if you're an independent contractor, self-employed, solopreneur, sole proprietor, small business with 500 or less employees, and that you were operating your business January 31st, 2020 or before. So some of you have asked, if I started my business in April, do I qualify? The answer is no. So if you have been in business as of January 31st and you have less than 500 employees, you qualify. That means if you have 0 employees, you qualify for this program. Okay. So this is exciting. This program comes with a grant up to $10,000. And how the SBA is treating it right now is that they are providing grants to you based on the number of employees you have. So if it's just you, you get a $1,000 grant. What does that mean? That's free money that you don't have to pay back. There's no ties to it. There's no additional information that you have to submit to get the grant once you fill out this application. But I am going to tell you what you do need to do through the application in order to get that grant. Again, that's up to $10,000. That is the cap. And then the loan program is an up to 30-year term, 3.75% interest rate. And you can qualify at this time for $150,000. The Congress and SBA are working to increase that because we were supposed to be able to get funded up to $2 million, just depending on your status. And the SBA decided without any notification that they were just going to limit it to $150,000. So that's where it is right now. But expect that you will have the opportunity to get additional funds through this program. Okay, so it is upon you to take action to get money through this program. There are billions of dollars available. So I want to just get right to it to help you understand how to fill out this application. Let me just tell you, it is a simple, streamlined application. There's no documents you have to upload when you submit it. You're self-certifying to all the information that it is true. So make sure you go through the information, make sure it's true before you hit that submit button. But this is a streamlined process. So when you're filling out this application, expect maybe no more than 10 to 15 minutes to fill out this application. Okay. It may take a little bit longer because I'm going through it. I'll try to go through it slowly so you get all of the steps, but for you, it should only take 10 minutes. If you have questions about this program, whether you're wanting to apply or you've already applied and you're wanting to know your status or what the next steps are, please feel free to leave those questions in the comments. I always follow up after the broadcast to answer every single one of your questions because I want to make sure that you get your money. Okay. So now we're going to go into the application form and you can see it on my screen. Do let me know if you're out there in the comments that you can see this. You can see me and you can hear me. But this is the streamlined process. This is what you see when you go to sba.gov. The information, the link to this application is in the description of this video. Okay, so everything is here for you. Want to make it as easy as possible. When you come to this page, the Disaster Loan Assistance Program for Federal Disasters, this is what you are going to see. You're going to see an OMB number, control number at the top with an expiration date also. Okay. So this is the streamlined process. As you can see, is giving you detailed information again that you need to verify or self-certify the information that is in this application. What I will tell you is that when you submit this application, you want to make sure you screenshot it, you take a photo of your confirmation number because the SBA does not follow up with an email confirmation. You want to keep that for your records and follow through to the process. Okay, so the first thing you're going to come to is going to ask you to verify your eligibility. So it's going to give you a number of options. For those of you, a lot of you are out there, again, self-employed, independent contractors. So that's who we're targeting this video for today so we can help you. Okay, so you see all of these options here. If you are a sole proprietor, you're an independent contractor, you consider yourself a gig worker, you're going to click this checkbox here that says applicant is an individual who operates under a sole proprietorship with or without employees. See? So those of you that thought you didn't qualify because you don't have employees, you do qualify. So if you don't have employees, you do, or you certifying as a independent contractor. If you're a small business owner with less than 500 employees, you would just select the first option at the top. Okay. So I'm going to select the independent contractor, and then it brings me to the next question. So there's two questions on this screen. So the next one is going to ask you to review and to check all of the following that apply. If the applicant is unable to check all the following, the applicant is not eligible. So this lets you know if you are eligible. If you do meet the eligibility, it will make sure that it prompts you to the next screen. So applicant is not engaged in any illegal activity. No. So no principle of application with 50% greater ownership. No. So applicant does not present a live performance, right? That any sexual nature, anything like that, that is not allowed. So no. Applicant does not derive more than 1/3 of gross revenue from illegal gambling activity. So no, this is not a gambling business. Applicant is not a business for lobbying. So you can't be a lobbyist. No, I'm not. Applicant cannot be a state, local, or municipal government, and you cannot be a member of Congress. Okay, so none of those apply to me. So I know I am eligible. So I'm going to move to the next steps. Okay, so once you check you're eligible, you're going to move to the next steps, and you're going to put your information in here. Okay, so if it's my business, okay, I'm going to put my information in here. Okay, if you are an independent contractor, you don't have a business name, you don't have a DBA, which is a doing business as name, just put your name, right? So if I didn't have a business name, I would just put Shante R. Roddy, okay? Or you could put your trade name. Again, that's the DBA. That's what they refer to as what it is. So I'm just going to put here the same name here. But again, if it's just your name, you're just going to put your name in there. The next box is you're going to put your employer identification number or your social security number. Okay. So some of you have an EIN number, right? I have an EIN number, and some of you don't. So again, you do not have to have an EIN number. If you don't, you would just put your social security number in this box, okay? And it's going to tell you if you have the right information, if you have the correct number of digits, okay? I have the correct number, and it's going to green out the field for you to let you know is correct, and you can move on. It's going to ask you your organizational type, okay? So it gives you all of these selections. I'm an LLC, my business is an LLC. But if yours is not, you're an independent contractor, you just want to put independent contractor, okay? And then, is this applicant a nonprofit? No, you're not, okay? If you are, you mark yes. But for independent contractors, most likely you are not. Are you a franchise company? No, you are not. You want to mark that no, okay? So we're going to scroll down to the next section, and it's asking us about gross revenues, okay? For the last 12 months, right, prior to the date of the disaster, what were our revenues? So there's a number of ways that you can find this for yourself. You can go, first of all, to your tax returns, right? That's important that you have your tax returns done. You can also look at your profit and loss statement in your accounting system. If you don't have that for some reason, you can always go to your 1099 forms that you should have been issued for the work that you have done as an independent contractor. If you get paid like through any of the merchants like PayPal or Square, you can pull information from there. But at this time, you don't need to upload anything. This is just options for you to go and get the data to be able to know exactly what your revenues were over the past 12 months, right? From January 31st. And then you're going to put that in here. So let's say your gross revenues was $50,000. Okay, then you're going to put your cost of goods sold. If you have any, those are costs related to doing business, to producing any materials you have. So say, for instance, you were making masks and you're paying for materials. What did you spend on that? So you may have spent zero, or you may have spent some money. So let's say I spent maybe $1,000. I'm going to put that in here. Do I have real estate property? I don't. If you do, you want to put that in here. Okay. No, we're not a nonprofit, so I'm not going to put anything there. Compensation from other sources. So you have to think about, do you have any other sources that have been received as a result of the disaster, or any other compensation? So what that means is like the PPP program, right? So have you applied for the Paycheck Protection Program? Were you funded? If you were funded, you want to put that in here. Are you receiving pandemic unemployment assistance or some other type of grant? You want to put that information in here, okay? So for the purposes of this, I'm going to put 0. Provide brief description of other compensation sources if you have them, okay? So I just gave an example of what some of those could be, okay? So I'm going to enter in my information. So the next step is that you want to put in your address details, okay? Your address, your city, your state, your county, and your zip code. And please put, okay, make sure that these are valid, okay? Not a P.O. box. And you want to make sure you provide a number where you can be reached. Don't provide a number where if they need to follow up with you, they can't reach you, because that's going to be a detriment to you. You don't want anything to hold you up or prevent you from being able to get the money that you are entitled to. You can also provide an alternative number if you want to, and a fax number. You want to make sure you have your email, again, a valid email that you check on a regular basis. So when they do send you correspondence, you can act promptly, okay? So you definitely want to make sure that you do that. You, again, want to go down here and put the date that your business was established. So we just said that you had to have been established by January 31st, okay? So I'm just going to put January 31st. Okay, so whenever your business was established, mine was actually established back in 2014. You want to also put current ownership since. Okay, so you are the owner. You've been the owner. You've been operating. It should be the same date unless there was some other owner. But as an independent contractor, that does not apply to you. So I'm just going to put the same date. Okay. So that's accurate. Okay. So business activity. Now it's going to give me a list. So a lot of people ask me about this. Like, what should they put? Maybe something it didn't necessarily fit. You want to find what is closest to what services that you provide. So business services is close to what I do because I'm a consultant and trainer. So I put that. Once you select that, it's going to give you more detailed options. And you can see it's not a lengthy list. And if it's not on the list, you can also select none of the above. So you want to look at this list. Does any of this apply? None of this applies to me. Okay, so I'm going to put none of the above. When it comes to the number of employees, you don't want to put 0. So number of employees as of, okay, as an independent contractor, January 31st, you are the employee. You are an employee of 1 for the purposes of this application process. So you want to put a 1. Okay. If you so happen to be watching this and you have employees, you want to put the exact number of employees that you have, because that is going to determine the amount of grant that you get. Okay. So if you have 5 employees, you want to put 5. If you're an independent contractor, you will only have 1 employee. Do not put 0. Put a number 1 and then move to the next screen. So we have all of this filled out. Everything appears to be good. And then we're on screen number 3. So this is step 2 of 3 steps. Okay. So at the top, it says, is your company owned by a business entity? You're going to click no. Okay. You're not owned by another company, another business entity. You're an independent contractor. Okay. And then next, we're going to enter information about individual ownership. Okay. So you want to outline the percentage of owner, who's the owner for this particular business. You are, I am in this instance. So I'm going to put my information here, my name, my first name, my last name, my mobile number, my title. You can here's a title here that it gives you. You can put other if you're independent contractor, if none of the other ones apply to you. For ownership percentage, you're going to put 100%. This is not a split ownership. You are own the company, right? It's just you. You don't have a partnership. So it is 100% ownership. You own 100%. Okay. So here is my information. Put 100%, my email address. You see all of these are required. Then it's going to ask me for my social security number. So I'm going to put my social here. So this is different than the first screen. Okay. So it's going to ask you to put this. So let me not put the dashes. The type allowed. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, for some reason, type not allowed for entity type. Okay, for some reason, it's not letting me get past this. So hold on just a second. I don't know why it's not letting me go through this. Hold on, let's try this again. There we go. Okay. So just make sure you put the information in, your correct information, until it populates as green. Make sure it's accurate. Okay. So this is just a test number. You want to make sure you put your date of birth and make sure that you're following the format that they're asking you to put in here so it does go through. So I'm going to put my birth date. Okay. There's a random number. My place of birth. Okay, it's asking me, am I a U.S. citizen? The answer should be yes, and you're going to mark yes. Okay, and then it's asking me for my street address, and I put that here. So all of this is green. It's taking me to the next screen. Okay, so we have all of that information there. So we're going to the next step. Okay, this is the final screen that you're going to come to. So it's asking for additional information. So in the past year, has the business or a listed owner been convicted of a felony? Okay, during and in connection with a riot or civil disorder or declared disaster? No. Okay. So is the applicant or any listed owner currently suspended or disbarred for doing federal contracting? So you need to ask yourself that question. The answer is no. Are you presently subject to an indictment, any criminal information arraignment by which formal criminal charges have been brought against you? Okay, so the answer is no. Within the last 5 years for a felony, have you ever been convicted, pled guilty, or pled nolo contender, been placed under any pretrial diversion or anything like that? You're going to say no. Okay. And you have to do that to move forward. Anyone assisted you with completing this application, whether you paid a fee or not. So you want to put that individual's name here. Okay. So for an example, I've been helping a lot of entrepreneurs and small business owners here with this application, but we're not allowed to charge you or the applicant to help you with the application process. Okay, so you can put my name here, but I didn't charge you a fee. We are supposed to get paid by the banks. Okay, so whoever funds you, then we get paid by them. Okay, so but you do want to put the information, but they're not supposed to be charging you. If given the permission from SBA to discuss any portion of this application with a representative listed above. So you have to get permission or no to discuss your information. And that just depends on your relationship. If it makes sense, if they're your consultant, your tax advisor, your accountant, then you probably want to put yes. If you are not really knowledgeable or understand all of the processes and you need assistance, I would say mark it yes. Otherwise, you can mark it no. So I'm going to put no here. This is very important. This is before your banking information. This is where the grant comes in. If you want the grant, which you do, and the grant is not contingent on you being approved for the loan, okay? Whether you're approved or denied for the loan, you can get this grant. You do not have to take the loan to get the grant. Okay, so that's a misinformation sometimes people have out there that, you have to take the loan to get the grant. You do not. You can get the loan without having to take on the grant. You could get the grant without having to take on the loan, but you can get up to $10,000. So you want to make sure when you come to this, make sure this check box is checked. You see it's highlighted blue? Make sure it is checked. Right? So if it's like that, if you leave it blank, you are not going to get a grant. You will not get a deposit. You want to make sure it's checked blue. And then also the SBA, once you submit your application, you can expect to just randomly see a deposit. Most likely they will not send you any correspondence to say that they're going to deposit it. They will just deposit it once they get to you. Okay. And then it will be there. If for some reason it's not there, is because your banking information was not verifiable. So that brings us to the next section here. So if you want your loan, your grant and your loan funds deposited correctly, timely, this is the next important thing you want to make sure is accurate. And just take your time going through this. Don't rush because the banking information needs to be correct. You're going to put in your bank name, and then you're going to put in your account number and routing number. Okay, so I'm putting my bank name in here. I'm putting an account number in here. Let's see. So we put the account number and a routing number. Where's my banking information? Let me see. I'm going to get it to pop up green. Let me just put this in here so I can show you. One. Okay, so this should pop up. So make sure that, again, you have the right banking number, the right account number. Let me try this one more time. There we go. Okay. So I'm giving them my information. Make sure it's right. So sometimes what happens is you're putting your information. You might put the routing number where the account number should be, or the account number where the routing number should be. Okay. Make sure you go slow at this point. Make sure all the digits are correct in each of the fields and that they match. Just go over them a couple times before you hit the submit button. Okay. And so then once you have that, you're all green, you have your account information. They want you to certify that all the information that you provided is accurate, okay? That you know what the exclusions are, all of the requirements, and then you self-certify, okay? And then it will take you to the next steps, okay? So then I click on next. Then it's going to give me this summary of all the information that I submitted. So I would tell you to go through this. Just make sure everything is correct the way you want it. All your information is filled out and complete. And then you're going to hit the CAPTCHA. It's going to highlight the submit button and you click submit. So I'm not going to click submit here because I've already submitted my application. And this is good for you too, because if you have already applied, some of you asked me, if I've already applied and I haven't heard anything, or if I was denied, should I submit another application? The answer is no. Only do this if this is your first time applying for the EIDL program. If you've already applied, just be patient. The SBA is supposed to be through all the applications no later than next week. Whether you were denied or approved, you got your grant, and then they're still working on your loan. That is supposed to be processed, or you should receive some notification by next week. If you get denied, you want to submit a request for reconsideration. You can watch some of my other videos regarding that process on what to do. Many of you have already taken advantage of that and followed up, and you were able to get your money. But you do not need to resubmit an application. If you resubmit an application, what they're going to do is reject it. Okay? So that is the application process. You see how simple that was? So it should really take you 10 minutes to go through. There was nothing I had to upload. Pretty simple information. Like I said, if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. Get your money, get your grant. This is free money for you and your business. I don't know who can use an extra $1,000, an extra $5,000, an extra $10,000. And then if you need the loan, pursue that money as well. I do ask that you do sign the petition. We do have a petition video through change.org that we are signing a petition to put pressure on the SBA to give us our full funding of our grants and of our loans, right? Because they are only partially funding us. We are supposed to get a $10,000 grant. That's why I encourage you all to do this, because really, I believe when it's all said and done, we will get the full $10,000 grant. But right now there's lawsuits going on. So the Senate is pressuring them, and we need as many signatures as possible to let the SBA know that we want all of our money, okay? But you can't even get that if you don't apply. So again, apply, come back and let me know that you did apply. If you're already in the process, drop a comment, let me know who you are, what your business is, what part of the process you're in. And if you need any additional assistance, please do let me know as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure talking with you and sharing this information. Again, please do subscribe, hit that love button, and do share this out to all of your entrepreneur and small business peers, because so many of them out there do not even know that this program exists and that there's free money and funding available. to them. So it's available now. Let them know. Sharing is caring. Okay. So continue to be the boss with amplified impact. I wish you much success. Continue to stay in good health and be